Hello, this is why going my own way. So the difference between employment or and independent contractor. And I was a remote customer service, aka ghost writer, for short-term rental management company, Osaka, Japan. And so the difference between employment and independent contractor, if there is a supervision or not. If I have authority to make decision or not, how the work can be done. Like for instance, I am also an living host on Airbnb. I am an Airbnb host on the premise using my house. And I live in this house and host in my spare room. And so I filed the tax is W-9 form for Airbnb hosting. So meaning I am not I don't go to Airbnb San Francisco office every day, Monday to Friday. That is a corporate job, and I'm not like that. I live in East Coast US near Washington DC, which is why there is a beautiful cherry blossom, and I am an independent contractor. And for tax, I have to provide W-9 form, and I can choose how I want to host my guest. If I want to offer breakfast or not, if I want to offer tea or coffee or both, or if I want to offer laundry service or not, and which I do, and I offer breakfast. So, and this ghost writing job for Osaka, Japan, the company told me to use Google Translate. Google Translate. When I receive messages other than Japanese or English, because I only speak Japanese and English, and I don't have Chinese language skills, I don't have Korean language skills, or French or Spanish. So yeah, I only have two languages. And then, so, okay, oh, Google Translate, it's not so accurate, but what's wrong with using it? So the point I want to make is I submit some paperwork to Labor Standard Office in Osaka, Japan, because this short-term rental management company ignore my last 2 months of wages. So they are ignoring it. And in order to be entitled to request or please the office of the Labor Standard Office, it's a government agent. And then if I want to request their service, the government office, the Labor Standard Office will order the sweatshop short-term rental company to pay me, and I have to prove that there was a supervision which I have to follow. And so using Google Translate is one of the supervision. And So I follow their direction that they want me to use Google Translate if it is other than English or Japanese. The language I do not know. And yeah, of course, at that time, I had no complaint about Google Translate, even though it's not so accurate. In the, yeah, the computer assisted translation is not so accurate if the language is very different, like English and European languages. And I was fine using it, but like there was one comment that I didn't tell anybody, is that like people who I don't mean to say that English language is number one, is the best. It's not. I don't mean that. But if the guests do not read English, possibly they are not reading your house rule or description or profile, and they might be high maintenance because they have no clue about lockbox and self-check-in and how to open this, how to use that and stuff. So high maintenance. But since I am only doing a ghost writing job, I didn't mention any of that stuff. But yeah. And another thing I noticed while using Google Translate, and I always hear the Korean language and Japanese language were very similar. And I took Chinese language class when I was in college as a second foreign language for 4 semesters. Back in Japan, I have to take. And then, yeah, I thought Chinese and English are similar structure, the subject, verb, and objective. And the Korean language, which I have never studied, but many people say Korean language is similar to Japanese language. And then when I place the Korean written message to Google Translate and then translate into the Japanese language, and then the outcome in Japanese language is very the natural flow. It's very natural, and then yeah, I'm a little bit surprised. So yeah, so yeah, I was thinking if I make this video in English, but yeah, in case someone is yeah, like someone who is a Japanphilia, like people who live in Japan and try to look for job in Japan and look for place in Japan, and yeah, I have to say that Japan can be wonderful place, but I also have to say that Japan is a cold place or even cruel. Yeah, the general statement, Japan is a safe country, but sometimes you will get hurt. Your feeling will be hurt because of various occasions. And me, I was born and raised and educated in Japan. Educated means that I went to college in Japan. Unfortunately, my grade is not so good, just so. yeah, I couldn't, I am not so smart or intelligent as I want to be, but I mean, so I was born, raised, and went to school in Japan. I guess I should say school in rather than college. So it's undergraduate, and still, I got I got trapped in a scheme that short-term rental management company taking advantage of me, and then just because the invoice period is the end of next month, meaning if you quit end of April, let's say, that company might rip you off the April and March. So yeah, I feel sometimes like watching videos about non-Japanese people live in Japan, and some people love it, some people hate, and then some people had interest in Japan, and then had some admiration in Japan, but after a while they grew resentment or bitterness after the reality. And I'm not saying that every single foreigners will live in bitterness in Japan or towards Japan, but bad things could happen, and I could not prevent myself. So so there is I try to warn the reality. Like things, of course, things happen to me. Maybe not, maybe or may not happen to you, but it's just a possibility. So if the whoever looking for job in Japan, do your research about potential labor problems you might encounter. And other than that, please enjoy the weather and have a great day. Bye.